it's felt as if the hits have just kept coming.
Yeah.
And yet, I refuse to do anything but be committed to good cheer, positivity, and optimism. And some people have been, Charlie, are you delirious? Like, no, I understand completely what's going on in our country. But let's also take a step back and ask ourselves the question, Jack, is it as bad as it feels? And the answer is no. The Democrats do not have 60 seats in the United States Senate, they have 50. A couple of them are going to be up in 2022 in very tough races in Arizona and Georgia. They have one blue dog Democrat, Joe Manchin. Nancy Pelosi did not get 244 seats in the House of Representatives. She only enjoys a 7-seat majority at most on certain days, depending on who shows up. And the incoming administration has pledged and promised unity, and they were not, and we'll get to exactly what they mean by unity, because it's actually something very specific.
Yep.
And it's important that we all know, because it's not the unity that you might think, because their definition of unity is the absence of opposition. That's what they think of as unity. But they have no mandate to govern with a far left-wing agenda. The only reason, well, there's a couple reasons, that they got in even from a policy perspective was that I am not the other guy. And of course, there's all the, let's say, shenanigans and tomfoolery and gamesmanship, which we can dive into here, that obviously played a role in all of that. Not to mention the fact that social media was a completely corrupted enterprise throughout the entire election, where you could not even talk about Joe Biden's son without losing your Twitter account in the month of October. They do not have a mandate to govern with the iron fist that they're preparing to govern with. They barely control our government, barely. But they're acting as if that they have 66-seat majorities. And so we also need to take a step back and say, in a year where we were supposed to get blown out of the US Senate, I mean, lose seats that we've never lost before, we advanced in the US House of Representatives. We won seats here in California, and you guys deserve credit for that. Young Kim, Michelle Steele, Mike Garcia.
Darrell Issa.
4 total flips, right, Jack?
Issa, yes.
We flipped 3 state legislatures and 1 governors across the country and lost 0 state legislatures. We have the most diverse and youngest group of Republicans probably ever, including the youngest ever representative, Madison Cawthorn.
Great show, by the way.
Thank you.
How old is he? 24?
He's 25. He is as young as you can be to be a U.S. congressman.
Have you guys heard him speak? Yeah.
Madison Cawthorn, awesome. We have Elvira Salazar, who speaks fluent Spanish, who won in a Democrat seat in downtown Miami, Florida, Jack. We have Burgess Owens, former NFL football player, black American from Utah. We have Byron Douglas. We have some amazing success stories happening. Florida used to be something called a battleground state. Now we might as well call it Alabama. I mean, it is like we win by 400,000 votes. Yeah. It's not even close.
Aren't we all moving to Florida shortly?
I have a mixed theory on that, because I'm totally supportive of us maxing out the battleground states, but don't forsake the battle in front of you. So